So, how old are you and have you started planning towards retirement? Keep watching. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today on my little piece of real estate online. My name is Lydia. I'm the Fun Finance Queen, and I'm here to make money on finances more simple, more gettable, and more fun. Today, in particular, I want to talk to you about investing towards your retirement. This is baby step 4 from the Dave Ramsey 7 baby steps. And baby step 4 is to ideally invest 15% of your income towards your retirement. Now, let me remind you of what the first 3 steps were. The first step was to save £1,000, quickly save £1,000. So you can have that quick win, and there's a video for that towards the end of this video. Step 2 is to pay all of your debt off, except your mortgage. Step 3 is to save 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in an emergency fund. So step 1 is to save £1,000. Step 2 is to pay off all of your debts except your mortgage. Step 3 is to save 3 to 6 months towards an emergency fund. Now, if you have an emergency fund, you can choose to make it longer, but there is a video for that in my video lists. You can pick out the one that talks about emergency funds. But the focus today is baby step 4. Baby step 4 is to begin to invest 15% of your income towards retirement. Remember, retirement is not a surprise. It is not something that jumps upon us. It actually is going to happen. So it's helpful for us to begin to make sure we focus our attention towards preparing for that thing that will happen that is called retirement. Now, why 15%? Why not more and why not less? Well, I'll say why not more is because there are 7 baby steps, and baby steps 5 and 6 actually require to have additional income to set aside. So 15% is a great level for you to actually work at, but just bear in mind that you have other things that you're going to have to do in this journey that will require your income. That's why we cap this at 15%. Why not less? And even if you can't make 15%, if you can make 2%, if you can set aside 5%, if you can set aside 10%, whatever you can set it aside towards retirement, so retirement doesn't surprise you. We know so many people, for example, who just go through the process and life hits them and all of a sudden they're retired and they don't have anything saved. Don't be that person, please. The next thing I wanted to explain or touch on was find out whether your company or the employer that you work for actually matches a portion of your retirement savings in a pension. There are several ways you can touch on saving for retirement, and the most common one is setting up a pension. If you don't have a pension, start one now. Even if you're 20 years old, start putting something towards your retirement. It's easier because the earlier you start, the better. The better compound interest works on your behalf, and it just makes sense for you to be able to do that. So start having a pension, put one aside, even if it's private, whether it's company related, make sure you keep the information, because this is the crazy part. People get to the age of retirement and they can't find their pension papers. So make sure you have that information in place. Hopefully you have it online so you're not lost in any way. But there are many, many people who have lost their pensions because they don't know where they were saved. Now, if we talk about pensions, that's a great place. So that's a portion of that 15% that you can actually set aside towards retirement. But it helps to also diversify your investments, because all retirement is, it's a time where your money pays you back. That is the whole goal. You've worked all your life and your money pays you back so you can actually live without having to work anymore. So what do some people do? Aside from doing the pension thing, which is also very helpful if it's getting matched by your employer, but aside from doing that, you can also do things like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, etc. Do your best to diversify wherever you invest. So some people go into one of 4 different areas, and these are the 4 areas that Dave Ramsey actually recommends. He talks about growth funds. So investing in areas that provide you growth, investing in areas that also provide you growth and income, investing in areas that are aggressive growth, and lastly, investing internationally. Take a peek at it and do your research. I am not a financial advisor, folks, but I do recommend that you sit down with someone who understands what they're doing and who is not all about commission. So just pay attention to that. Now, the next area that I wanted to touch on, don't be discouraged if you can't do 15%. Get started. Move in the right direction. focus on actually achieving this. It doesn't mean if you can only do 1% now, you can't do anything. Make sure that you pay attention to this part of your life, because this is something that's going to happen, guys. We're going to get older, we're going to retire, and we want to be prepared for that. Now, last but not least, if you are not able to do this, just bear in mind, be encouraged as you proceed in the right direction. You're going to the right place as long as you're focusing on this necessary fact. Setting aside money for retirement is crucial, but it's something that we all have to do. I hope you got something out of that today, but I highly recommend that you do more research into these things. I am giving you a high level coverage of this information, and as I mentioned, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do want you to pay attention to your money, pay attention to your finances, because what you focus on increases. So take your time and do that. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Jump onto the comments, ask your questions below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you on the next video.